Every single religion on earth is trying to answer the same exact question. And none of them fully agree on the answer. Who is God? Sounds simple. It is absolutely not. So let's walk through this together because the differences are wild and actually kind of beautiful. In Christianity, God is personal, like deeply personal. He knows your name, He counts your hairs, He sent His own Son to die for you. God is a relationship. That is the whole point. In Islam, God is also personal, but the emphasis shifts. Allah is one, completely one, with no partners, no children, no divisions. The oneness of God in Islam is so pure that even calling God a father feels like it crosses a line. Tawhid, they call it, pure unity. Then you go to Hinduism and things get philosophically wild. God can be everything at once. One supreme reality called Brahman, but also thousands of deities that are all expressions of that same one thing. It is like God is a diamond, and every religion is just seeing a different face of it. Buddhism kind of sidesteps the question entirely. The Buddha was not really interested in who created the universe. He was interested in suffering and how to end it. Some Buddhist traditions have divine figures, some do not. The question itself might be the wrong question. Judaism keeps God mysterious on purpose. You do not even say the name out loud. Here is what is crazy though. Every single one of these traditions agrees on one thing. Whatever God is, it is the most important thing there is. Maybe the search itself is the answer.
Almost every major religion on earth agrees on one thing about Jesus, and that alone should stop you in your tracks. Think about that for a second. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism. These are belief systems that disagree on almost everything. Yet somehow, Jesus keeps showing up in the conversation across all of them. That is not a coincidence. That is something worth sitting with. In Christianity, Jesus is God in human form. The creator of the universe decided to put on skin, walk around in sandals, and die for people who were actively ignoring him. That is either the most beautiful idea ever conceived or the most audacious claim in human history. Probably both. In Islam, Jesus is considered one of the greatest prophets, a miracle worker, born of a virgin. He is deeply respected, just not divine. Muslims believe he was not crucified, but raised to God directly. Same person, completely different story. In Judaism, Jesus was a Jewish teacher who lived and died. Most Jewish scholars see him as a historical figure, whose followers built a theology around him that went far beyond what he intended. And then you have Eastern traditions, where Jesus sometimes gets absorbed as an enlightened master, a bodhisattva-like figure, someone who achieved a level of consciousness most of us cannot even imagine. Here is what gets me. Every single tradition is responding to the same man, the same life, the same words. And yet, they arrive at completely different conclusions. So maybe the real question is not who Jesus was to them. Maybe the question is who he is to you, right now, in this moment. Because that answer changes everything. Every major religion on earth agrees on one thing. You are not okay the way you are. That is actually the most profound common ground humanity has ever found. Christianity tells you that you cannot save yourself. You are too broken, too lost, And the only way out is through grace. Someone else pays your debt. You just have to accept it. That is wild when you think about it. Salvation as a gift you did not earn. Islam flips it slightly. Yes, mercy is everything, but you also show up. You pray 5 times a day, you fast, you give, you live the faith out loud. Salvation is mercy meeting effort. God sees your whole life, not just one moment of belief. Buddhism does something completely different. It removes God from the equation entirely. You are not being saved by anyone. You are waking up from a dream you created. The suffering is yours, and so is the way out. Enlightenment is not rescue. It is recognition. Hinduism stretches the timeline across multiple lifetimes. You do not fix everything in one shot. Karma accumulates, lessons repeat, and eventually the soul evolves past the cycle entirely. Patience on a cosmic level. What is fascinating is that every single one of these traditions starts from the same diagnosis. Something is wrong with the human condition. We suffer, we stray, we forget who we are. The disagreement is not about the problem, it is about the cure. And maybe that shared diagnosis is more important than the different prescriptions. Because if we all agree something is broken, we are already closer than we think.
Every single religion on earth independently invented angels and demons, and nobody can fully explain why. Think about how wild that actually is. Christianity has archangels like Michael fighting against Lucifer. Islam has Jibril delivering divine messages, while Iblis refuses to bow. Hinduism has Devas and Asuras locked in eternal cosmic war. Zoroastrianism literally built its entire theology around 2 opposing forces of light and darkness. Ancient Mesopotamia, thousands of years before most modern religions existed, already had protective spirits and terrifying underworld creatures. These civilizations had zero contact with each other. Some of them were separated by entire oceans. And yet, they all arrived at the exact same conclusion. There are beings above us, some want to help us, and some want to destroy us. So the real philosophical question is not whether angels and demons exist. The real question is why every single human mind, across every era and every continent, felt the need to create them. Some thinkers say it is just psychology. We externalize our inner conflict. The angel is the version of you that makes the right choice. The demon is the version that gives in. We turned our own internal struggle into mythology because that is how humans process things we cannot fully understand. But here is where it gets interesting. If every culture independently reached the same conclusion without talking to each other, maybe they were not inventing anything. Maybe they were all describing something they genuinely sensed was there. And the fact that we still feel that pull between good and evil every single day kind of makes you wonder if the mythology was never really mythology at all.
Almost every religion you know borrowed something from the oldest belief system ever recorded. We are talking about animism. And before you scroll past thinking this is some ancient history lesson, stick with me because this actually changes how you see every single religion that exists today. Animism is the belief that everything around you, the trees, the rivers, the rocks, the wind, has a spirit, has consciousness, has meaning. And this was not some small tribal thing. This was literally how every single human being on Earth thought for hundreds of thousands of years. Every single one of your ancestors believed this. Now here is where it gets wild. Look at any major religion today, and you will find traces of animism buried inside it. Christianity has the Holy Spirit moving through living things. Hinduism has gods living inside rivers and mountains. Shinto in Japan literally worships nature spirits called kami. Indigenous traditions across every continent kept the original framework almost perfectly intact. So the question that should be sitting heavy in your mind right now is this: did religion evolve away from animism, or did it just dress animism up in different clothes? Because think about it, the core idea has never really changed. There is something invisible and alive moving through the world around us. Every religion just gave that something a different name, a different story, a different set of rules. Maybe the oldest religion on earth never actually died. Maybe it just grew up, put on a suit, built some cathedrals and temples, wrote some books, and convinced everyone it was something completely new. The belief was always the same, only the packaging changed.
Most religions are actually saying the same thing, just in completely different languages. Think about it. You have billions of people on this planet, separated by oceans, centuries, and completely different cultures. And somehow, they all landed on similar answers. Be kind, reduce suffering, look for something greater than yourself. That is wild when you actually sit with it. Buddhism talks about releasing attachment to find peace. Christianity talks about surrendering your ego to find grace. Islam talks about submission to something higher. Hinduism talks about dissolving the self into universal consciousness. Even ancient Stoicism, which is not technically a religion, tells you to stop clinging to things outside your control. Same destination, wildly different roads. But here is where it gets complicated, because the roads are not just cosmetically different. Some roads say there is one God. Some say there are many. Some say there is no God at all, just awareness. Some say you get one life. Some say you get thousands. These are not small details. These are fundamental, contradictory claims about reality. So which is it? Do all roads lead to the same mountain? Or are people climbing completely different mountains and just hoping they end up in the same sky? Maybe the honest answer is this. At the practical human level, most traditions are pointing toward the same transformation. Less ego, more compassion, deeper presence. But at the metaphysical level, they genuinely disagree. And pretending otherwise is actually disrespectful to what each tradition is seriously claiming. The real question is not which religion is right. It is whether you are actually doing the work any of them are asking you to do.
Almost every religion you know borrowed something from the oldest belief system ever recorded. We are talking about animism. And before you scroll past thinking this is some ancient history lesson, stick with me because this actually changes how you see every single religion that exists today. Animism is the belief that everything around you, the trees, the rivers, the rocks, the wind, has a spirit, has consciousness, has meaning. And this was not some small tribal thing. This was literally how every single human being on Earth thought for hundreds of thousands of years. Every single one of your ancestors believed this. Now here is where it gets wild. Look at any major religion today, and you will find traces of animism buried inside it. Christianity has the Holy Spirit moving through living things. Hinduism has gods living inside rivers and mountains. Shinto in Japan literally worships nature spirits called kami. Indigenous traditions across every continent kept the original framework almost perfectly intact. So the question that should be sitting heavy in your mind right now is this: did religion evolve away from animism, Or did it just dress animism up in different clothes? Because think about it, the core idea has never really changed. There is something invisible and alive moving through the world around us. Every religion just gave that something a different name, a different story, a different set of rules. Maybe the oldest religion on earth never actually died. Maybe it just grew up, put on a suit, built some cathedrals and temples, wrote some books, and convinced everyone it was something completely new. The belief was always the same, only the packaging changed.